Spider-Man 4. Oh, by the way, speaking of Spider-Man, did you hear about the new JMS run that got announced?
It looks stupid, bro.
That art is trash, bro.
Dude, that art makes me feel like
It's terrible.
They do Infinity Comics, which I don't know if you've seen them in Marvel Unlimited, but they're trying to push them like really hard. But they're Infinity Comics where they don't sell hard copies. They're only in Marvel Infinity, and it's not pages; it's just a complete vertical scroll.
Oh, the X-Men stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
A lot of those, they seem to be geared for kids, like kids that don't have tablets, they just have iPhones, and they're just used to scrolling. And this comic book, it seems like it is made for really young children.
Yeah.
Based on the art. And it's really aggravating because Spider-Man could use someone like JMS right now. They are rebooting Amazing Spider-Man on Wednesday with Amazing Spider-Man 1 from writer Joe Kelly. And he wrote a lot of. So what you have to understand is they did Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, which was the last long-running run. And about a year ago, Zeb Wells' run ended, and they did, for like 1 year, they were doing the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was Joe Kelly that wrote it, and then there was this other woman, Justina Ireland. And both first of all, it was garbage. Everyone was hating on Zeb Wells' run. 8 Deaths of Spider-Man was so much worse. It was probably the worst Spider-Man comic I've read in my entire life.
It's that bad, dude?
It was that bad. And there was a lot of anti-capitalist propaganda in the comic. And then for the finale of 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, they included a sneak peek for the upcoming Joe Kelly run. The sneak peek, which had 3 pages, a full page of the 3 was all anti-capitalist propaganda, bro. And it's like, what the hell, man? And especially like on Spider-Man, when everyone's complaining about the comics, like this is what you do. It's crazy.
You sent me a screenshot of that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you just sent me a screenshot. I remember that. Yeah, it kills me, dude. It kills me when they it's like it's just like Marvel Rivals, bro. How someone always has to don Spider-Man, even though they don't know how to use them. Like you gotta put it in there because you think you have them high ground. It's like so disgusting.
It's so aggravating, man. It's so aggravating.
Yeah. So with Marvel Studios, they are looking for a certain actor. So let's read this here. So it says Marvel Studios is reportedly casting for a 30 to 50-year-old Asian actor for a big role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw you talking about this on X, and this is what made me want to bring it up on the pod, because a lot of people are talking about Mr. Negative. How do you feel about, them wanting a certain actor or about them wanting an Asian actor, and about people think that's going to be Mr. Negative? How do you
I agree. I think it's going to be Mr. Negative. I think that this information confirmed who the villain is, because Mr. Negative is one of the main villains in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and they're looking for an Asian guy that fits the age description of Mr. Negative. Who else could it be? So I definitely think we're going to see Mr. Negative. And, what's really interesting to me about this is I like Mr. Negative, by the way. I did a TikTok on who he is, so check that out if you want to learn more about Mr. Negative. But to quickly recap it, he is a philanthropist. He runs the F.E.A.S.T Center, which Aunt May worked at, and but he's also a crime lord. And basically the Magia worked with him, and he he's like a crime lord for his, street gang in downtown Chinatown. And, he's a really cool villain. And he has this like negative energy powers that's like mystical and really cool. Savage villain. So I'm excited about it. And, what else is interesting? I kind of think that Aunt May's death was part of a broader strategy for Spider-Man in the MCU. I think that like the consequences of what happened in No Way Home with Peter losing Aunt May and having to kind of forfeit his relationship with MJ and Ned is going to force him to grow up. He had to lose Aunt May, and because he lost Aunt May and he had to make a really big boy decision and put his friends before him and his like personal self, I think that we're going to see him mature a little bit going into Spider-Man 4. What I also think is that could we be getting the grounded street level Spider-Man 4 with Mr. Negative? Because Mr. Negative is a street level villain.
I think so, brother. I think so.
But it's coming out like right after Doomsday. So that's everything. I would 100% think that, except for that one outlier throws me off.
Yeah, but I mean, but when we got that Ant-Man film right in between and Captain Marvel, those were right before, you know, or not right before, but Captain Marvel was more of a prequel, but Ant-Man was like a situation that was happening kind of before and during. So, and I do think Spider-Man is going to be in a Doomsday, so they could give us a movie that happened before those events or something with Doctor Doom or something interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of my favorite fights in Spider-Man 2 was when Miles fought what's in it? Because Miles Morales, because when you play Miles, you actually fight him. Wait, are you Peter or Miles? Oh, yeah. Miles fights him in like a duel to like the death. It was such a fun fight.
That was
a fun character to use. And then Aunt May did volunteer at the F.E.A.S.T center in No Way Home also, because that's when I'm pretty sure Peter brought Green Goblin there. I think.
Yes. Green Goblin went there because he saw Spider-Man on the ad, and he was like, "I saw Spider-Man, but you're not him." So, yeah.
So like the seeds are already planted for that.
Yeah. Very interesting. And Brand New Day is a good run. A lot of people hated it. The thing about Spider-Man comics that sucks is that everyone hates everything. So like it's very difficult to like when you research Spider-Man comics, it's very difficult to get a read on if something is actually good or not because everyone hates everything. I mean, I remember I was trying to find podcasts to listen to based on comics, and I found one of a certain website. I almost want to mention their name because I was like so thrown off that they said this, but in the JMS run, the J. Michael Straczynski Spider-Man run is the best Spider-Man run of all time. Hands down, no questions asked. And during that run, 9/11 happened. And they stopped releasing, I don't know if all comics at the time, probably, but they stopped releasing Spider-Man comics for like 2 months. And when they finally did release one in December of that year in 2001, they put out the 9/11 edition, and it was a black cover, and it was of Spider-Man kind of just scoping out Ground Zero, kind of collecting his thoughts on it. Famously, Dr. Doom was even crying. You know, it was deep. And like first time I read it, I even got teary-eyed.
Respect, yeah.
And some jerk said, I kid you not.
Oh God.
He was like, I was so offended by that comic.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
Huge virtue signaler, all that, you know. So
what a fraud.
Yeah.
Question. You saw Spider-Man 1, the original Sam Raimi one. You saw that in the movies, right?
Of course, bro.
It was packed in there also, right? Like it was packed.
Bro, when that movie came out, oh my God, it was the wave. Everyone was obsessed with it. Yeah.
I wish I could have lived. I wish I could have lived during that time, bro.
Were you even born when that movie came out?
Yeah, so I'm 99, so I was 2 or 3 years old.
Damn, that's crazy.
I was a Gerber.
Yeah,
I was a Gerber.
I was 11 when that movie came out.
I told you, you're my big brother, bro. I told you.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.